Hi, my name is Tara Higginbotham, and this is an in-service training presentation video for HIM 2820C for Marie Trevec in the spring. So on my counter right now, you can see I have my ingredients listed. But before that, we have equipment. But what we have is listed out. We are going to have 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. We're going to have 3/4 cups of sugar, 3/4 cups of brown sugar, a 1/2 cup of butter, which is 1/2 stick. We have 2 raw eggs. We are going to have a teaspoon of vanilla, a teaspoon of baking soda, chocolate chips, and a teaspoon of salt. Now I'm using a KitchenAid mixer, but you're more than welcome to use a blender or anything else. You need to have your oven preset at 350, and we are using an old family recipe to make our chocolate chip cookies. Okay, we are going to mix our dry ingredients in a separate bowl. So we're going to take our 2.5 cups of flour, and we're going to take our baking soda. Okay, and then we're going to mix our teaspoon of salt in there with it. I'll move these out of the way. I just have a little spatula to stir, and we get our dry ingredients stirred together. We're going to set those off to the side. In our mixer, we are actually going to go ahead and put our sugars in. I use the same spatula. So we got our brown sugar, which is 3/4 cup. We have our regular sugar, 3/4 cup. We're going to have our 1/2 cup of butter. At this point, I go ahead and push my mixer down and start stirring. Then I add my teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm going to add my 2 raw eggs. I went ahead and cracked my eggs in a separate bowl. That'll keep any shell fragments, or if you actually have a bad egg, it'll keep it from going in your mixture if you do that way. And I put them in there. And I'm going to turn my mixture up some because I want the dough to get wet. Alright, at this point in time, I'm going to leave the mixture on, and I'm going to start adding the dry mixture into the batter. Turn your mixer down. Alright, it starts coming out at you. And you don't want to go too fast because you want it a chance to like catch up with you. Alright, at this point in time, we're going to add our chocolate chips. And now I use a mixture of milk chocolate and semi-sweet. It makes your cookies so much better. At that point I can stop stirring, and I'm going to lift up and see our batter. You got the right consistency for cookies that are going to be perfect and crumbly and soft. Now you don't have to use a mixer to use the chocolate chip cookies because I'm about to stir the rest of them in manually. But it is nice. Put that off to the side. Let me grab a spoon. can see, it's almost like the same consistency of the chocolate chip cookies you buy pre-made from the store, except they'll taste a lot better. And right now I just want to make sure that the chocolate chips are kind of evenly spaced throughout the dough. And that'll do it. And that's what your dough's gonna look like. Now after mixing all of our ingredients together with the chocolate chips, y'all notice I set my counter up to go ahead and scoop the cookies out and to pull them out of the oven to cool off on my drying racks. Now I use parchment paper. You can get the bleached white parchment paper or the unbleached, it doesn't matter. And I don't know if y'all have one of these, but they're my favorite. It is a tablespoon scoop, or a little bit more, but basically it's a dollop, and it's perfect for chocolate chip cookies. So you're gonna take it and you scrape inside the bowl, you get a perfect round, and you put it on your parchment sheet. And then we are gonna fill our parchment sheet up, and then after you fill your tray with your cookies, and we usually make them evenly spaced apart so they have room to like melt down and become delicious cookies. You're gonna take your tray and you're gonna stick it in your preheated oven at 350, and we're putting them in for 10 to 12 minutes. And we're done. Are we doing it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay, so they've been in there for about 12 minutes. And I remember I said 10 to 12 minutes. We're gonna pull them out and we're gonna put them on our cooling sheet. Just be careful and don't burn yourself. And this is one of the reasons why we use parchment paper, is that I can just lay them across that with the parchment paper, and then the next batch is ready to go in without me having to re-grease the pan or anything else. And we're putting it back in the oven. So that's the second batch, and we'll keep going through. All right, now your cookies need to stay on your parchment paper until they're a little bit more cool, and then we can take them off and plate them until they're all very nice. And then we can enjoy them. And for the last part of making cookies, when they're cooled off, you're gonna put them on a plate. And the best part is you're going to share them, and everybody's going to enjoy them.
My God, they're good.